Gothella da! Stay in and Gastanel! St Piran Lowen! Good evening and welcome to the Stay In. Thank you for joining me on St Piran's Day. There we go. Patron saint of Cornwall. We're going to celebrate all things Cornish this evening. Yes, I hope you're all here ready. I have got my trusty Cornish ale with me. Where is it? There's my camera. Got some Firebrand, which I've been drinking quite regularly, haven't I? And Howl tonight. Nice Cornish name there. Howl being the Cornish word for sunshine. So, who are we and what are we drinking on this wonderful St Piran's Day? Well, I've seen lots of familiar names pouring in on the chat. So I've got to give a big shout out to Cornish Alan. Cornish Alan is joining us tonight. There you go, you're joining Barry's team tonight, aren't you? I know I've got to say a big hello to Uncle Phil, who is Ollie's reinforcements for the evening. And oh my goodness, Ollie has been hyping it up all week, hasn't he? He is going to get his personal best tonight. He's going to beat everybody tonight. And then the bets started rolling in about who is more Cornish. Well, shall we find out by the end of the evening? So, yeah, we've got welcome to the Spencer family. I've seen you coming in. We've got the Manor House team. Noswaith there. You Pal Northern coming in. Some Mum, Dad, Colin and Carol. Hi to everybody who is my colleague at work. I've seen loads of you logging on already. Hi Danny up in Bristol. We've got Lisa and Matt. Thank you very much for joining me again. Hi to Steve and Rose. I've seen your name flashing by. At this point, I should say a huge thank you to Chris and Kate for lending me a webcam because it all went a little bit wrong a couple of hours ago when I came in to set up and check everything was working. A quick few messages, so thank you to everyone who replied, but we have got a working webcam and hopefully you can see me and hear me. There we go. Well, lots of nice drinks coming in. Got the Somerset team with Carl Shelton support. Oh, Chris is here. Thank you. The webcam is looking good, isn't it? I was actually thinking maybe I should get myself one because it's quite nifty. Well, it doesn't do, is it? Isn't quite focusing. It keeps slipping down, so hopefully it shall stay there. A slightly different perspective of me tonight. You can see my bald head a bit more as well. Alright. So, oh, there we go. We've got more on Firebrand. Firebrand Sours. Whoa. There you go. Enjoy, Dave. Right, lots of people coming in with what they're... I've lost track of what everyone is drinking. You've all got drinks, haven't you, at the stay-in? We never run out of beer and spirits here at the stay-in, do we? Or water, tea, quite often as well, isn't it? Whatever you can get your hands on, we drink here at the stay-in. So this evening, yeah, it's St Piran's Day. I may have mentioned it a few times. Oh, I had some lovely pasties today. We're making them at school. Anyone who's at school saw me make my own pasty. It was lovely. I had it for dinner. So I've had pasties for lunch, dinner, for snacks. Yeah, just pasties all over, basically. Hi to Tash and Kim down in Swansea. More Welsh players. Players in Wales, I should say. Yeah, so this evening, all about St Piran's land of Cornwall, although he was Irish originally and got cast away from Ireland for bringing back dead soldiers, and ended up here in Cornwall. So we're going to do our first round is about famous people with connections to Cornwall. We'll then move on to Cornish Places. After our regular interval, we shall have a Cornish food and drink round and then a Cornish general knowledge round. So yes, lots to look forward to there. You've also got a Cornish themed picture round, which is up on social media. You've just got to name these where's what's to do with Cornwall. So there's places, there's some bit of translation there, a bit of nature and sport. So yeah, lots and lots to have a go at there. So there we go. I've seen some great Cornish beers coming up. I saw Betty Stoggs flash by a minute ago. Not quite literally Betty Stoggs flashing, but that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Who we got? We got Francesca has joined. I saw Bob, your name flashed up a minute ago as well, so welcome to everyone from the bookshop. I can see, we've got Andy and Claire here. So, we've done lots of welcomes. I hope you're all ready. Good evening, Malcolm. What are you saying there? Oh, ha, Malcolm. No, I probably am looking a bit pasty this evening. Ha. Right, when you are ready, please let me know, and we will begin our Cornish themed quiz for this evening. Oh, Spingo, that's a lovely, lovely ale, that is. Definitely one word. That's a famous Cornish people, or people with links to Cornwall. Hopefully we're ready. I'm waiting for the first readies. It's normally Graham, isn't it? Let me know when you're ready. Ah, there you go. Andy and Claire first in this evening. Oh, and Danny and Colin. There we go. Lots of us ready, so I can presume that the rest of you are, and the messages are going to come through in a second. So, let us begin with our round one, which is famous people with connections to Cornwall. So, for each person, I will give you a little bit of a blurb about them, and all you have to do is tell me who is the person in question. So, question number one, who am I talking about? This drummer moved to Truro during his childhood, before forming the band The Reaction. He later joined Queen, who played their first ever gig in Truro. So this drummer moved to Truro during his childhood, before forming the band The Reaction. He later joined Queen, who performed their first ever gig in Truro. I was meant to say good evening as well to the Lou 2. Woodhill Wonders, who've now migrated to Lou and are now the Lou 2. So good evening. Question number 2. This actor was born in St Austell and became a classically trained actor with the Royal Shakespeare Company. He is best known, however, for his leading role in Midsummer Murders. This actor was born in St Austell and then became a classically trained actor with the Royal Shakespeare Company. He is best known, however, for his leading role in Midsummer Murders. I just haven't put my phone on silent. There we go. I was about to get disturbed by all those messages. Question number 3. After growing up in Newquay, this TV personality has become a household name. He first made his name appearing alongside Gordon the Gopher. After growing up in Newquay, this TV personality has become a household name. He first appeared alongside Gordon the Gopher. So with the test teams this week, We've tried to make it accessible to people outside of the county. I know a lot of you are, but we've also had to throw in some difficult ones for those of you around here. So this will test those of you who have been bragging about your Cornishness. Here's one for you. Question 4. This welfare campaigner and pacifist was born in St Eve, just outside Liskeard. She is celebrated in South Africa for her humanitarian work during the Second Boer War. This welfare campaigner and pacifist was born in St Eve, just outside Liskeard. She is celebrated in South Africa for her humanitarian work during the Second Boer War. They definitely do all have Cornish accents, these people, Colin. Question number 5. Born in Truro, this rower has won 2 Olympic golds and multiple World Championships, partnering Heather Stanning. So born in Truro, this rower has won 2 Olympic gold medals and multiple World Championships, whilst partnering Heather Stanning. Currently ranked #1 rower in the world, I believe. Chris, you're right, she is a true heroine and is severely undervalued around here, but there is going to be a museum, yes. They're well underway with it, by the looks of things. Cornish Alan known all of these, has he, Barry? Okay, question number 6. This author spent most of her life living in Cornwall and is best known for her novels such as Rebecca and Jamaica Inn. So this author spent most of her life in Cornwall and is best known for her novels such as Rebecca and Jamaica Inn. She's crept up in the Stay In quizzes before, hasn't she? Question 7. So another literature one here for you. This novelist was born in Newquay and won the Booker Prize in 1980 for his novel Rites of Passage. He is best known for his debut novel, though, Lord of the Flies. This novelist was born in Newquay and won the Booker Prize in 1980 for his novel Rites of Passage. He is best known, though, for his debut novel, Lord of the Flies. Question 8. Although not a Cornishman, this politician has regularly been seen in Cornwall, and his daughter Florence Rose Endelian was born in Truro Hospital in August 2010. Although not a Cornishman, this politician has regularly been seen in Cornwall. But his daughter, Florence Rose Endelian, was born in the Royal Cornwall Hospital in Truro in August 2010. Question 9. This sailor learnt to sail whilst holidaying in Cornwall, before later being educated in Truro. He has since gone on to win medals at 5 consecutive Olympic Games. This sailor learnt to sail whilst holidaying in Cornwall, before being educated in Truro. He has since won medals at 5 consecutive Olympic Games. And finally in this round, question 10. Born in Wales to Cornish parents, this comedian has never forgotten her Cornish family roots. She now resides here and is the Chancellor of the University of Falmouth. So born in Wales to Cornish parents, this comedian has never forgotten her Cornish roots. She now resides in the county and is the Chancellor of the University of Falmouth. Or Falmouth University. Can't remember which way around they say it. So that brings to an end our first round. People with connections to Cornwall. It's amazing how many people have connections to Cornwall that I haven't actually put in. It's even more incredible how many celebrities have got second homes down here. So yes, that is our first round done and dusted. And we're going to move on to Cornish Places. That is your next round, Cornish Places, after I finish pouring my next beer. So, here we go. Round 2 is Cornish Places. So all of these are places in Cornwall, believe it or not. Says it on the tin really, doesn't it, like Ronsil? So, question number 1 in round 2 for you this evening, all you Scuizzes out there, is where in Cornwall is mainland Britain's most westerly point? Where in Cornwall is mainland Britain's most westerly point? Question number 2. Where in Cornwall hit headlines in 2004 after it was devastated by flash floods? And where in Cornwall hit headlines in 2004 as it was devastated by flash floods? Question number 3. Where in Cornwall is the legendary home of King Arthur? Where in Cornwall is the legendary home of King Arthur? I'm sure that the Welsh and Somerset contingents may have something to say about this. They've all laid claim to him at some point, haven't they? as have many other places. Question 4. Where in Cornwall would you find a giant's heart set amongst a cobbled path? Where in Cornwall would you find a giant's heart set amongst a cobbled path? Question 5 in this round for you. Where in Cornwall was the School of Mines? Where in Cornwall was the School of Mines? Question 6. Where in Cornwall are the Cornish Pirates rugby team based? Where in Cornwall are the Cornish Pirates rugby team based? They are playing Saracens this weekend in the opening fixture of the Championship. Definitely my adopted team now. Question 7. Where in Cornwall is England's largest fishing port? Where in Cornwall is England's largest fishing port? And we're talking largest by the value of fish caught there. There are different ways to measure the largest port, the largest fleet, the largest in size, the largest in value. We're talking largest in value here. So where in Cornwall is England's largest fishing port? And then on to question number 8. Where in Cornwall are the Fisherman's Friends from? Where in Cornwall are the Fisherman's Friends from? Question number 9. Where in Cornwall, believe it or not, where in Cornwall is Flora Day celebrated? Where in Cornwall is Flora Day celebrated? Very funny, Mum. And question 10. Where in Cornwall is the county's only commercial airport? Where in Cornwall is the county's only commercial airport? So there we go, that's round 2 for you. What? Oh, hang on, can we have 7 again, please? Of course we can. Number 7. Where in Cornwall is England's largest fishing port? So yeah, what will be really interesting when you give your scores when you come in is to see how those of you in county are doing and how those of you from up country are doing. Because yeah, with the test teams it was really interesting how we got on. Test teams in the county, you just got everything right in the first version, and my test team out the county really struggled. So I think we're at some kind of balance, but we shall see. But it would be really interesting to know how you get on from wherever you may be. But we've had our first 2 rounds, so those of you who are regulars in the stay-in, which I think you all are by now, will know it is time to have an interval so you can visit the bar here at the stay-in, where of course, I'm going to go into my spiel here, you can get your drinks, you can get your bar snacks, you can have a chat with the barmaid if you would like. She's very pleasant, I'm sure. And if you would like to also use the facilities, now is your chance. I'll put the pictures up for you to have a look at during this time as well. And I'll be back in kind of 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what the queue is like at the bar. Yeah, so I hope you're enjoying the quiz so far. And I'll speak to you again in, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes. Here are your Cornish pictures. Okay, I am back from the bar. So I'm hoping that you have managed to beat the queue as well this evening and are heading back. So we'll do our answers in a moment for those first 2 rounds there. Now, I've had a few questions going. Well, Mum especially, they're going, we're having a lot of fun, but they're not doing very well. Can you win? Well, of course, in the Stay In, we all know that it is not the winning, it is about having fun. So the winner is, as always, whoever has had the most fun. So hopefully, even if you are struggling with your Cornish facts there, you may still be having fun and enjoying the evening. And hopefully learning some things about our amazing county down here. So, we'll do the answers to the first 2 rounds, and then we'll move on to rounds 3 and 4. And then we shall go from there. Have another break. Let's just see. Vicky's Beach Mouse named 10 places in Cornwall. Well, there you go. I thought this might happen, but we had to celebrate St Piran's Day. We couldn't let it pass. Really, could we? But here we go. Let's go to the answers in round 1, which was your famous people with links to Cornwall. So question 1, the drummer from Queen is Roger Taylor. Question 2, the actor famous for his leading role in Midsummer Murders was John Nettles. Question 3, after growing up in Newquay, well, it was Philip Schofield who first appeared alongside Gordon the Gopher. Question 4, the campaigner and pacifist was Emily Hobhouse. Question 5, the rower from Truro was, Helen Glover. Question 6, the author known for novels such as Rebecca and Jamaica Inn is Daphne du Maurier. Question 7, the author of Lord of the Flies is William Golding. Question 8, the politician whose daughter was born in the Royal Cornwall Hospital was David Cameron. Question 9, the sailor who learnt to sail in Cornwall and then was educated in Truro was Ben Ainsley. And 10, the comedian who's Chancellor of Falmouth University is Dawn French. There's your first round. Sorry, pause there. I just realised I've written number 8 down twice. And then we moved on to round 2, which was your Cornish Places. So, question 1, mainland Britain's most westerly point is Land's End. Question 2, it was Boscastle which flooded and hit national headlines. Question 3, King Arthur, his home was in Tintagel. Question 4, you would find the Giant's Heart on St Michael's Mount. Question 5, the School of Mines was in Camborne. Question 6, the Cornish Pirates play at Penzance. Pirates of Penzance. Question 7, England's largest fishing port is in Newlyn. Question 8, Fishermen's Friends are from Port Isaac. 9, Flora Day is celebrated in Helston. And then question 10, the county's only commercial airport is in Newquay. So how have you done so far, Scuizzes? Give me a score and an in-county or up-country. So I can know how the split is going, because it is definitely a split this evening. So yeah, some of the teams who traditionally do very well may not do so well this evening, but we shall see. Yeah, let me know how you're doing before we move on to our Cornish food and drink round. Let's see, so we've got 17 from Graham, and that is an out-of-county score. Oh, here we go, Ollie, 18 out of 20 so far. Oh, there you go, Uncle Phil's helping out. We've got some 19s, 16 for Colin there. What have we got? 13 from Mum and Dad. Ooh, we've got an 18 from Up Country. There we go. Oh my goodness, they're flying in tonight. How many have we got in the stay-in tonight? My goodness, I can't keep up with it. it's just a blur of numbers in front of me this evening. So we seem to be ranging from 10 up to about 19, I believe, there. Manor House have got 19 there, haven't they? And Bob there is coming in on 19 as well. Wow, really interesting scores coming in. Not as wide a gap as the first set of quiz that I sent to the test teams, which is good. So you're all doing really, really well so far. Oh, we've even got a 16 up in Scotland. 20 for Malcolm. Whoa, here we go. This is what we're talking about. Right, let's move on to round 3, which is our Cornish food and drink round. So, let's start with the most important issue around. Hoping everyone gets this right. Question number 1. What is the correct way to prepare a cream tea? What is the correct way to prepare a cream tea? Question 2. Approximately how many crimps should there be on a Cornish pasty? Approximately how many crimps should there be on a Cornish pasty? You know what I'm talking about, Graham. Oh, here we go. You can prepare your tea however you like, everybody. We know what is important. No, definitely not any dodgy ground. No, no, no. There is a correct way. Okay, question 3. Originating from Mousehole, what is the name of the pie which is famous for having pilchard heads and tails protruding through the crust? So, originating from Mousehole, what is the name of the pie which is famous for having pilchard heads and tails protruding through the crust? And for anyone up country, can you spell Mousehole? Just as a bit of fun. It's not a point or anything. But can you spell Mousehole? That's a beer I'm pouring, by the way. Question 4. Which cheese did the Grey family first produce in Cornwall? So which cheese did the Grey family first produce in Cornwall? Just to clarify, I've got the testing here. So it's a Cornish cheese that I am looking for. It's not just a cheese that was made somewhere and then made in Cornwall. So which Cornish cheese did the Grey family first manufacture? Should have said. Yeah, we've got lots of Mousehells spelt correctly. Question 5. What is the name of the traditional ginger biscuit commonly found in Cornwall? What is the name of the traditional ginger biscuit commonly found in Cornwall? Lots of chat going on this evening over here. Oh, we're back to the wee timorous beastie from our Burns night. Yeah, that it was made near Rillamel, yeah. It got bought out, didn't it, by Liner Dairies, who were based nowhere near the liner. Question number 6. Which traditional Cornish cake derives its name from the cry of the hewer in the pilchard industry? So which traditional Cornish cake derives its name from the cry of the hewer in the pilchard industry? Question 7. Which Cornish brewery brews the Wolf Rock and Atlantic beers? Which Cornish brewery brews the Wolf Rock and Atlantic beers? Question 8. Which cider manufactured by Healy's is named after a feisty apple? So which cider manufactured by Healy's is named after a feisty apple? Great cider this is. Warm summer's day, pint of this. Lovely. Got some of my bar snacks stuck in my teeth as usual. I'm on to question number 9. So which chef has an empire of fish restaurants in the Padstow area? Which chef has an empire of fish restaurants in the Padstow area? And your final question in the Cornish food and drink round. In 2013, Greggs was forced to change the name of its Cornish pasty to a beef and vegetable pasty. It had to do this because it added which 2 ingredients which should not be included in a Cornish pasty. So in 2013, Greggs was forced to change the name of its Cornish pasty to a beef and vegetable pasty because it added which 2 vegetables? So 2 points on offer here because we've only got 9 pictures, so I need the name of 2 vegetables which Greg snuck into a Cornish pasty. What are those 2 vegetables? Cornish pasty should only have beef skirt, onion, swede, and potato in it. But Greg's very naughtily snuck in something else and called it a Cornish pasty. Right, and then we're ready to move on to round 4 in a second. So round 4 is just a general Cornish round with lots of things relating to Cornwall in here that just didn't fit into the other rounds. So we'll go through this and then we'll have just a short interval again. And then I've got a few extra things that I need to do before the end of the quiz this evening, so I've just got a note here. So round 4 is your general Cornish knowledge round. So question 1. Cornish mathematician and astronomer John Couch Adams was instrumental in the discovery of which planet in 1846? The Cornish mathematician and astronomer John Couch Adams was instrumental in the discovery of which planet in 1846? Well, yes, I'm not happy with the bakers in Bentloch. You know this, Mum. They don't even crimp in the right place. They crimp on the top. Oh, dear. Danny, I could not eat another pasty today. I do have one left that I made earlier, which may have to be eaten tomorrow. Question number 2. What is the highest point in Cornwall? So what is the highest point in Cornwall? When you find the name of this place, do not Google it, especially if you're at work, because it does not like it. So what is the highest point in Cornwall? I haven't mentioned Google all evening, have I? You can use Google if you want, however, you're only cheating yourself. Oh, I knew somebody was going to say that I promised to sing. Yes, I did promise I would sing tonight. Yes, well done, well remembered. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, and we call them oggies down here as well. Colin as well. In Cornish, they're called hoggans. It always makes me think of girls. If you're in Wales, you'll know why. Hoggan is the Cornish word for pasty, apparently. And from hoggan comes oggie. Question number 3. Who played the lead role in the recent BBC adaptation of Poldark? Who played the lead role in the recent BBC adaptation of Poldark? Yes, I do know, Steve, that 9 o'clock is the Trelawney shout. I won't have finished the round. But, yes, I did promise a few weeks ago to sing Trelawney. And I am true to my word, I will sing Trelawney. But just not in the middle of a round. We may delay our Trelawney shout. If anyone wants to join in with me when I do sing Trelawney, please feel free. Question number 4. Which poisonous chemical element was extensively mined alongside copper and tin in Cornwall in the 19th century? So which poisonous chemical element was mined extensively alongside copper and tin in Cornwall in the 19th century? The scythe. Indeed, the scythe was a leading part in Poldark, wasn't it? Because you in Cornwall, you do scythe without any clothes on, pretty much. Question number 5. In 1995, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food launched an official investigation to prove or disprove the existence of what? In 1995, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food launched an official investigation to prove or disprove the existence of what? It does sound very similar to the Grand Old Duke of York, doesn't it not, Colin? Question number 6. Why was there a 65-mile traffic jam across Cornwall in August 1999? Why was there a 65-mile long traffic jam across Cornwall in August 1999? Question 7. Who is the current Duke of Cornwall? Who is the current Duke of Cornwall? Question 8. I've had a little slap on the wrist for the wording of this question from some of my test teams, but I'm going to keep the wording. So question 8 is, which river separates Cornwall from England? Which river separates Cornwall from England? I say it like that because by law, apparently, an officer or agent of the Crown cannot cross into Cornwall from England without the express permission of the Duke of Cornwall and our Stanary Parliament. So there you go. Apparently we're not part of England. Question number 9. Which engineer designed the Royal Albert Bridge which crosses the river in question 8? So which engineer designed the Royal Albert Bridge which crosses the river in question 8? I sound like a Times crossword now, don't I? Yes, very dodgy ground now. Yes, but apparently the Act of Union between England and Wales did not include Cornwall, and then the Act of Union between England, Wales and Scotland did not include Cornwall. I've been reading up about this. It's actually quite interesting, but we're just naturally absorbed into England. And question number 10. Carbis Bay is to have the eyes of the world upon it later in the year when it holds which international summit? When it hosts which international summit, I should say. So Carbis Bay will have the eyes of the world upon it later in the year when it hosts which international summit? So there we are. We have been through our Cornish food and drink and then our Cornish general knowledge. So what we will do now, as always, is have a short break just for 2-3 minutes so you can sort out any answers, and then we'll come back and we shall do the pictures, and then we shall do the answers. As soon as people mention it, is the Trelawney Shout, because it is St Piran's Day, which is at 9 o'clock. When the pubs are open, you go down to your local pub and you all sing Trelawney, or the Song of the Western Men, which is the Cornish national anthem. And I don't know why, but I said I would sing it in the quiz. So I will sing Trelawney at some point this evening, maybe when you are bringing your scores in. And if you would like to join in, you of course can do. But for now, I will put the pictures back up and give you a 2 to 3 minute break before we come back with the answers. And I shall speak to you soon, Scuizzes. Okay, I am back from a quick trip to the bar here in the Stay Inn. So we are ready to go through the answers to our questions. So we'll start with the picture round in just a moment. So if you'd like to get yourselves ready to mark those, it would be fantastic. So here we go. So you got 9 Cornish related pictures there. And here are your answers to those. So number 1 was the Eden Project. Number 2 was Tribute. Number 3 was the Minack Theatre. Number 4 is the Isles of Scilly. Number 5 was a Cornish Chuff. Number 6 is Copper. 7 is Gig Rowing. 8 Miras is Thank You. And 9 is Ginsters. You sell more Cornish pasties than anyone else, even though they are not the greatest Cornish pasty, shall we say. So Colin's getting very technical with me on the Act of Union there. Yeah, it's very interesting, the whole Act of Union things. But yes. But here are your answers anyway to the pictures. So I hope you got on well with those. And I shall take that off there, and you can see me again. Here I am, ready to go through your answers to those 3rd and 4th rounds, which is rounds 3 and 4. So round 3 was your Cornish food and drink round. Question number 1. Apparently on dodgy ground. It is not on dodgy ground. The correct way to prepare a cream tea is jam first. I'm not having any of this cream first or any of that malarkey. Cream first because it's dairy. None of that. No, it's jam first. Question 2. Approximately how many crimps should there be on a Cornish pasty? There should be approximately 20 crimps on a Cornish pasty. So 3, the pie that originated in Mousehole is a stargazy pie. And those you get lots if you did Mousehole. Of course, it's Mousehole. Question number 4. So the Gray family, they started making Yarg cheese. Yarg being grey spelled backwards. Sounds like a great Cornish name, but it's just grey spelled backwards. I think we've mentioned Yarg in the quiz before. Question 5. The traditional ginger biscuit is a fairing. Question 6. The cake, which derives its name from the Hewer's cry, is a heather cake. Hewer used to cry heather, heather to let them know where the pilchard shoal was. Question number 7. The brewery that brews Wolf, Rock and Atlantic is, of course, Sharps, who are more famous for Doombar. Question 8. The cider named after a feisty apple is Rattler. Number 9. The chef who has an empire of fish restaurants is Rick Stein. And 2 points on offer for the 2 vegetables that Greg snuck into a Cornish pasty. Well, they snuck in carrots and then peas. So carrots and peas are your 2 answers there. And there's lots of chat going on that I need to catch up on. Let's go on first, of course, yes. Yeah, but I mean, if you put it's approximately 20, and if you've got 18, that's approximately 20. If you put 12, that's not. So it's approximately 20. John Nettles on the Yark. Good one there, Malcolm. I can rely on you, can't I? It does get messy to spread jam on top of cream. Anyway, I suppose you want some answers, don't you, to round 4? Getting myself sidetracked. So question number 1 in round 4. John Couch Adams, he helped discover Neptune. The highest point in Cornwall is Brown Willie. Again, don't Google Brown Willie. Your work firewall does not like it. Question 3. The lead role in Poldark was played by Aidan Turner. Question 4. The poisonous chemical element mined alongside copper and tin was arsenic. Before anyone says about pasty crusts so they don't poison themselves with arsenic. You can't get arsenic poison from the ore. It has to be separated, which happened above ground. Now you can lick arsenic ore as happily as you would like, and you will not get poisoning. But there you go. Little aside there. Question 5. So the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food tried to disprove or prove the existence of the beast of Bodmin. Peas and carrots is 2 points, yes. 1 point for peas, 1 point for carrots. So yeah, they tried to prove or disprove the existence of the beast of Bodmin. Question 6. There was a 65-mile traffic jam across Cornwall because of the total eclipse. So many people came down, approximately 100,000 people came down to see it. Question 7. The current Duke of Cornwall is Prince Charles. 8. The river which separates Cornwall from England is the River Tamar. Question 9. The engineer who designed the bridge over the Tamar, the Royal Albert Bridge, was Isambard Kingdom Brunel. And question 10. Carbis Bay is going to host the G8 summit later in the year. Kurdish pasties, there you go. Yes, to be a Cornish pasty you have to be made in Cornwall and contain only those ingredients that I said before. Steve's seen the beast. I am convinced I have seen the beast as well. When I was walking Kian when he wouldn't sleep one night, I went up to the moors and I'm convinced I saw the beast. So there. Yes, it is why the women died younger than many of the miners, Mum, because they separated the ore and they had arsenic around them. It wasn't known that arsenic was so poisonous at the time. There you go, really interesting. So, how have you done anyway, Scuizzes, so far? How have we done? Bristol's Brunel. Well, Brunel got everywhere, didn't he? Reading a book about Brunel at the moment. Thank you, Bob, and the bookshop team, whoever chose that for me as part of my subscription. Yeah, really enjoying that book. So, how are we doing? Let me know. And then we'll have a quick tiebreaker before we Trelawney shout. But while we are waiting for scores to come in, next week, I am really excited about next week's quiz. Because I have been preparing this for a while. So next week, on the 12th of March, 8 PM, we're going to have a Who's Who edition of the Stay In quiz. So all the answers are going to be people. So yeah, all the answers are going to be about people. So we've got pop stars, we've got actors, we've got politicians, we've got various other people. So hopefully, like Homer Simpson, you're going to be sat there going, who are all these people? Yeah, so the Who's Who edition, I've had great fun making up that quiz. It is all ready to go, pretty much. A few tweaks before the test teams get it. But yeah, Who's Who edition next week, I'm really, really excited. And there is one very, very special question in there as well. But great scores coming in here. So I've seen 49 coming. Did I see a 49 coming, which is brilliant. They've got lots of 40s. Ollie's on a PB on 42. How many questions did Uncle Phil get right of those 42? Mum and Dad, I've seen her on 37 there. The chat is going mad tonight. I cannot keep up with it this evening. Yeah, so yeah, it seems we have a lot joining in the Stay In this evening. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with these scores coming in. So well done. Now, we have a tiebreak question where you can just, it's just for a bit of fun, really, isn't it? So here is your tiebreak question this evening. We'll see who gets the closest, if I can keep up with this chat, if it goes mad again. So, what I would like to know is, what is the population of Truro, which is Cornwall's only city? What is the population of Truro, which is Cornwall's only city? So what we've got a few 47s, 42s, Trevine 4, back in the room, Trevine 4, there you go, 47, great score there. 45 from Malcolm. We've got Claire, 42 from Falmouth, there you go, in counting. We've got 38s there. Yes, go, Ollie's team. It is. Do you know what? It is G7, not G8. Sorry. It is G7 because Russia aren't it. You're right, Chris. Sorry. So your final question, if you put G7, then you are correct, and G8 is not correct. There you go. So, what is the population of Truro? I can see lots of them coming in. Here we go. So what have we got? I can't read it on this screen, so let's have a look here. In summer or winter? Good question. Now, what is the official population of Truro? So here we go. The last official population of Truro. So I'm taking this from the census data. Is 18,766. 18,766 was the population of Truro. I'm sure it's expanded since then because there seem to be houses popping up left, right, and centre just about everywhere. But it's not a great city, not great sized city, and is by no means the biggest place in Cornwall. 18,000. Now we've got a few extra points for some and a few minus points there on the G7, G8. So yes, lots of good scores coming in. I hope you have had fun at the stay in. But yes, I did promise to sing Trelawney, didn't I? Seeing as I sang in the Scottish one. So if you want to join in with Trelawney, the words are relatively easy for the chorus at least. Your words for Trelawney. And shall Trelawney live, and shall Trelawney die? Here's 20,000 Cornish men will know the reason why. So if anyone would like to have a drink in their hands and raise it and join in with Trelawney, you are free to do so. I'll put the lyrics to the chorus up in a minute, but having practiced all week, here we go. For my version of the Trelawney shout in Cornish. Gans cledda down dorn on lay gwrlo en angolon a thaswan milchen james fil pandrello cernolon yw ornis ye prisan caw Trelawney dos vin Messi gans mil as cerno got voldas am breakin. Here's your Cornwall, your chorus. And shall Trelawney live, and shall Trelawney die? Here's 20,000 Cornish men will know the reason why. Sorry to anyone who I've completely murdered that because my singing skills aren't great, but here's to Trelawney, to Cornwall, to St Piran, and of course to the Stay In. Thank you all for joining me this evening, and I will see you next week for the Who's Who quiz, which I'm really looking forward to. Have a great evening, everyone. Eat your pasties, have your cream teas and your scones, jam first of course, drink your tribute, drink your rattler, and just have a ball. Good night, everybody.